It's the kickoff of the Edelbrock Drag Racing Series, and for many drag racers, they came to Florida to lay it down on the quarter mile. Champions will be crowned at this event who repeated their titles from last year. Wheel standing performance. Everyone's got cabin fever, but they brought it out underneath the sunshine of Florida. This kicks off the Edelbrock Drag Racing Series. Gray skies greeted racers and fans to the kickoff of the Edelbrock NMCA Drag Racing Series here in Bradenton Motorsports Park in Bradenton, Florida. This is the season kickoff. It is the Ross Racing Pistons NMCA Hot Rod Muscle Car Nationals. Hi, everybody. I'm Doc Riley. This guy's been talking performance numbers all weekend long, and he kind of picked up from where he left last year. Vinny, last year you won this event. You went on to win the championship. This year, you're #1 qualifier again. Where's the magic?
The magic is right here in this, man. This provides us with all the horsepower we can use.
You know, you look at it this year, how important is it to win the kickoff event?
Well, it's important for several reasons. One, obviously, you like to see your name on top of the list when you leave to kick off the season. And two, it's just a big morale booster for the whole team. I mean, my guys work so hard to begin with, but when you go out and win a race right from the get-go, it just changes everything.
Seems like the big change here is performance. You guys last year did pretty well. You won the event. This year seems to step things up a little bit.
Yeah, we have. You know, we're always looking for things back at the shop. We've made some more horsepower. We've learned more about the race car. Last year at this race, this car was brand new. We've got some laps on it now, and we're just learning what it likes.
Okay, what it likes, and you talk about making horsepower. Here's a guy that knows about horsepower. Mr. Shafroff, people know your name all over. You're a team owner in this car and an engine builder, and what do you think about this ride right here? It seems to me like it's Performance Plus.
Well, it's been a great ride. It showcased our engines wonderfully for us, and like Vinny said, you get the momentum early in the season. It really helps, and there's a big advantage having a tried and true race car and showing off what we can do.
How much can you learn from a weekend of racing that you can put back into the engines that you build back in the shop?
Well, you learn incrementally, and over the years you apply all of that, all the knowledge, and it really does feedback, just like the major car companies learn. Racing does feedback into the product you sell to the public, and it's even more so with our line.
Speaking about feedback, these guys have got it all right here, and they put the performance right on the table. One of the things that they've been able to do is pick up a little bit of knowledge from this guy right here, Ross Racing Pistons. And Chris, you know, kick off the season right here. You guys at Ross Pistons, all excited about the year. Just tell me a little about why you guys would get involved with the NMCA.
Well, we're all racers and we love it, and we get to be around great hot rods like this. And another thing that's really important is working like with engine builders such as Shafroff, which is a big part of our R&D. We learn a lot from them, and that transfers into a better piston, and that transfers also to the average guy getting a better piston without having to do all the R&D that these guys do.
Well, they kind of do a little bit of your R&D yourself. How important is it to be kind of face-to-face on a raced weekend to talk to guys like Shafroff and the rest of the racers?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's great to get, put a face to the name and all of that, and we love to come out here and support it. I mean, this is what we do for a living, and we just try to come out here and support the racers, everybody from like Shafroff down to one of the open comp guys.
Talk a little bit about Ross Racing Pistons. You guys have been around and people know their performance. Give me a little history on the company.
Well, we've been around for over 25 years, and it's a small company, privately owned, and it's like a small family, and we just work really hard to make the best product we can.
Talking about family, they put it all together. We've heard an awful lot about equations right here. You put them all together, and everyone's looking for a successful season during the Edelbrock Drag Racing Series. Inside Drag Racing is brought to you by Summit Racing Equipment, the World Speed Shop. By ARP, the world leader in racing fastener technology. And by Dupli-color, the leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings. Yes, you can with Dupli-color. Racing action in round number 1, the BMF Racing Headers Pro Street. Dewey Pedrick against Jimmy Stofus. Pedrick over in the 63 Corvette. He'll pick up the win, 674, 208.18 miles per hour. He'll move on to the next round. You've got to love Pro Street. Peter Faber out of Otter Ridge, Massachusetts in the Dodge Big Hemi, 526 cubic inches, a single pass, 464 reaction time. A 680 at 205.33 miles per hour. Good look at 41 Willys. Randall Haynes out of Chester, Virginia. He's got a solo pass here. On the line, BMF Pro Street class. Nice launch at 058 reaction time. Nice straight run. 754, 131.42 miles per hour. He moves on to the next round. Not a whole lot of horsepower there. George Landis, Boynton, Florida, in the Stratus. Look at that. 6.394, the first in the 630s, 228.94 miles per hour. And the big man, Vinny Budano, out of Hicksville, New York, 68 Camaro, shaft raw power, 738 cubic inches. This guy has been on a roll. He has won the first two events right here. He's the #1 qualifier, and he'd love to put down some good performance here, even in a solo pass. Nice run, 645, 219.03 miles per hour out of Vinny Budano. Coming up, we'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the Ross Pistons, NMCA Hot Rod and Muscle Car Nationals here in Bradenton Motorsports Park. The busiest guy of the Edelbrock Drag Racing Series is Steve. Hey, you guys, another year, a big tour coming up. What's kind of new that you guys are letting these drag racers and even some of the show car guys get advantage of this year?
Really, one of the things we're excited about this weekend is our new Russell Pro Classic hose. It's a fabric-covered hose instead of the conventional stainless steel. That's really lightweight as well as easy to work with. This is a piece of Dash 8 that you can actually cut with a pair of scissors. You don't worry about the metal stainless steel sticking you in the fingers. You slide the hose ends on and away you go. The black and silver fitting on here is one of our new Pro Classic fittings, and the all stainless looking fitting is our Endura coating.
Which the show car guys would like.
Yeah, the show car guys really like this hose because it's a non-abrasive covering and it doesn't scratch up their polished or painted parts.
So it's got all the advantages we've known about hoses in the past, but it's lighter and still temperature and everything else still perfect?
Yeah, it's pretty much rated as all the stainless steel was, but it's about, depending on size and length, it's about 30 to 45% lighter, as well as a lot easier to work with.
Okay, you guys are the title sponsor for the entire NMCA tour this year. Just kind of your thoughts about the tour as we kind of kick things off.
Pretty exciting. Pretty big turnout. I think Extreme Street had like 31 cars. Nostalgia Pro Street had, I think, their biggest field ever. You know, Pro Street, Super Street, and all the others, right down to Open Comp. And, you know, the bracket style class is a big event.
Big event. Well, we're going to see more of this guy. And as I said, one of the busiest guys you'll see on the entire NMCA Edelbrock Drag Racing Series. Back on track, as Steve just mentioned, the GM Performance Parts Nostalgia Pro Street Series, the largest field in class history. Jack Boyer in the near lane. The far lane, Mike Stanley in the 60 Impala. The win will go to Boyer, a 754, 180.90 miles per hour. Robert Remek in the far lane. He's in the 68 Camaro. Chad Byrns, near lane, in a Camaro. Nice lead by Byrns with an 085. But the win will go to Remek, a 780, 176.50 miles per hour. Next up, a battle of Camaros in the far lane. Felix Garcia, Clearwater, Florida, near lane. Mitch Micah out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. An 073, Felix Garcia on the lead. An 835 to take the win, 163.01 miles per hour. Far lane, Johnny Bale out of Burbank, Illinois, 69 Camaro. Bob Borderer in a 69 Camaro, also out in Illinois. A nice lead by Bale, an 023 reaction time. He takes the win, a 766, 174.82 miles per hour. A Trans Am and a Camaro up next, far lane. Keith McCoy, Washington, Illinois, in the Trans Am. Brenda Paddock in the 83 Camaro. McCoy, a beautiful lead on 009. Nice pass, he'll take the win. An 836, 179 miles per hour. Out of Louisiana, up next the far lane, Jeff Coletta out of Walker, a 2000 Camaro. Up against Wade Gullen out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in a 69 Camaro. Coletta will take the win, a 754, 179 miles per hour. GM Performance Parts Nostalgia Pro Street. The action continues. Bucaro out of Carroll Stream, Illinois, in a Cobra Mustang. Up against Patrick Adams in a 69 Camaro. Adams left at the line with a foul start. Bucaro 8:14, 130 miles per hour. You take a win any way you can get it. Racers from all over the United States coming to Bradenton Motorsport Park. 68 Nova. Bruce Blair, the driver. North Haven, Connecticut. He's got a single pass here. And in a solo pass, he goes 1080, 226 miles per hour. John Schroeder up next in an 02 Camaro, also out of the great state of Connecticut. Boy, a long trip down here. A nice launch, an 039 reaction time. John Schroeder, 748, 183 miles per hour. Pretty good looking car show here. The Muscle Car Review Best of Show winner is Ron Nance in a 59 Impala. Nice looking ride. We'll get back on track. More racing coming your way on the NMCA Edelbrock Drag Racing Series.
The NHRA Sportsman Spotlight with Bob Fry, featuring a closer look at NHRA sportsman drag racers and their racing activities at different drag strips across the nation. Brought to you by Dupli-color, the leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings.
One of the great new teams in Competition Eliminator over the last couple of years is the team from Sharp Contracting, owned and operated by Lee Sharp. And while this team may be new, Lee is really not new to drag racing. Lee, tell us about your history in this sport.
Back in the 70s, mid-70s, we raced back in the modified and gastro days. Back in the day, as they say, in the grassroots of Competition Eliminator, so to speak.
Now tell us about this operation. It's pretty impressive.
Well, this year, last year we raced with Todd Patterson. Todd Patterson drove our E-altered car last year. Very successful with it last year. This year, we're teamed with Richard Freeman Racing. So far this year, we've had a fair amount of success. Went to Houston Division 4 points meet, sat on the pole with the D Supermod car. We set the record with the D Supermod car, and also we set the record with the E-altered car, and we're fortunate and won the event. Went to Belrose Division 4. We all qualified good, set the record with our G-modified car, and was runner-up with the E-altered car with Richard. So not too bad so far. Been pretty successful a little bit and been blessed.
They can also see the Sharp Contracting name in the Pro Stock motorcycle pits.
We do. We've got Michael Phillips. Michael Phillips, very talented driver. We expect good things out of him, and hope some things. We may be looking at a newer chassis with him this year, and some things to help him out.
Tell us about the business.
We're a heavy site development contractor, road building, land clearing. Basically, we do a lot of site development, turnkey, subdivisional deals, roads, highways, things like that.
This really is a great team, and don't be surprised if you see the Sharp Contracting name showing up also in the pro ranks in the future, possibly.
Thanks, Bob. Back to action now. The Vortec Extreme Street. They have had 7 different winners in 8 different races. The far lane, Michael Allward. In the near lane, Doug Jurin. Jurin with an 042 reaction time, but the Mustang's going to take the win here on 864, 166.26 miles per hour. In the far lane, out of Oswego, Illinois, Tony Orts in the 68 Firebird. Up against Jack Perea out of Norton, Massachusetts in the 69 Mustang. Taking the win. Firebird fans could celebrate there. 850, 161.75. Far lane, Freddie Braun out of Loxahatchee, Florida, the Nova. In the near lane, Jim Filipowski in the 95 Camaro. That Camaro 079 leave. Braun's going to pick it up at the top end, no. An 858 on the win, 163.69 miles per hour. Troy Perez up next out of Florida, the 70 Nova. Up against Tim Hendricks out of Illinois in a 99 Pontiac. An 044 leave on the Pontiac to an 058 reaction time for Perez in the Nova. And Perez will take the win at 836, 164.44 miles per hour. Fifth matchup right here in the far lane. Brian Tambone out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, an 88 Mustang up against Jeffrey Choate out of North Lauderdale, Florida, an 86 Camaro. Tambone with an 0.44 reaction time. Nice close drag race, but at the top end, Tambone's going to take the win, a 9.08 with 151.15 miles per hour. In the far lane, Mark Mahowski out of Seminole, Florida, 73 Dodge Dart with Chevrolet for power up against William Keeler. He's in an 89 Lincoln Mark 7. Nice classic little drag race there. Mahowski takes the win in 8.63 to move on. In the far lane now, Haskell Makowski, Miami Lakes, Florida, 91 Mustang against Enrique Perez at an 89 Mustang. Perez with an 0.65 reaction time. And Enrique Perez takes the win, a 9.02, 150.52 miles per hour. A pair from the great state of Illinois, Bob Kurgan in the 86 Festiva up against the 69 Chevelle of Nicky Scotto. Boy, the wind is blowing fierce here at Bradenton. These guys have got their hands full. The win will go to Kurgan, an 8.30 with the 9, 166.45 miles per hour. Bob Curran up next out of Illinois in a 96 Corvette against Brian Kuhl out of Florida, an 84 Mustang. Kuhl with an 0.95 reaction time. The win goes to Curran in 8.37. That's highlights from the Vortec Extreme Street first round.
The ARP Quarter Mile Quiz with Butch McCall offers you a chance to win a Quarter Mile Quiz sweatshirt while testing your knowledge of drag racing. Brought to you by ARP, the world leader in racing fastener technology.
Quarter Mile Quiz. This week's question was sent in by a gentleman who's probably sent questions every year that I've been doing this feature. He is a great drag racing fan, really knows his stuff. Bruce Bodenzotz of Summerhill, PA. And his question is, how closely do the auto manufacturers work with the race teams to develop new bodies? Hey, there's a guy standing right over here that I bet can help me. When we come back, we'll talk to Fred Simmons of Pontiac Motorsports. Welcome back to Inside Drag Racing and the ARP Quarter Mile Quiz. Well, to help me with this week's answer, Fred Simmons, you got to help me, buddy. The question is, how closely do the auto manufacturers work with the race teams in developing new body styles?
Butch, that's an excellent question. And as you know, racing is a team sport, not just on the track, but before we ever get to the racetrack. We have development teams work with us hand in hand on development of pro stock bodies and even our funny car bodies. So ongoing process, everybody pitches in.
Well, so you get a champion out there, I think it's going to take a team effort. Don't you agree?
Has to be a team effort all the time.
All right, hey, Bruce, guess what? You're going to get another sweatshirt. What is this, 12 in a row?
The Performance Tip, professional tips on the latest performance technology available with NHRA Pro Stock champion Greg Anderson. Items featured on the Performance Tip are available from Summit Racing Equipment, the world speed shop.
Today's Summit Racing Equipment Performance Tip centers on header coating. And we're at Jet Hot here, and Matt here is going to tell us about some exciting breakthrough news that they've got in header coating business. But first of all, Matt, tell us a little bit about your previous coatings.
Well, Jet Hot basically makes you run cooler, stronger, and longer. What we do is we basically coat any of the parts inside and outside. And it does a couple things for you. One, you get very good corrosion protection. You get extreme heat reduction. And it increases the horsepower tremendously because basically what happens is it creates a really nice exhaust flow. We have a wide variety of finishes, even some that protect up to 4,000 degrees. And our R&D team works around the clock basically to meet any of your coating needs for any kind of custom coatings.
Now tell us a little bit about your exciting new breakthrough, which we're all dying to hear about, your Extreme Sterling product.
Well, let me tell you, we've actually achieved what before was impossible to achieve. We've come up finally with a new product that can actually see 200 degrees hotter temperatures than any other silver ceramic finish out on the market. It actually protects up to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, and everybody told us that it wouldn't be possible. We've been working on it for years. Nobody else has it, and Jet Hot has finally come up with it. It's going to protect well over any other ceramic coating. It's going to keep its shine, and it's going to outperform any other silver ceramic finish on the market.
That's just fantastic to hear, and that's obviously something we've all been waiting to hear. And you know, it's an amazing breakthrough, and we can't wait to try this new product. And for more information on this new product, We'll display the Jet Hot website at the end of the show, or you can check it out in the Summit Racing catalog.
Inside Drag Racing on the Outdoor Channel is brought to you by Granatelli Motorsports, the mass airflow sensor experts. By Edelbrock, a passion for performance. And by Ross Racing Pistons, the industry leader in high-performance pistons. The Nitto Super Street 10.5 W Class. These guys wild and woody. The far lane, Dave French up against Gary Rowe. French with the win, a 740, 187.57 miles per hour. That in a 92 Camaro. In the far lane, Sam Berardi in a 57 Chevy. Eddie Rice on a Springfield, Tennessee, in an 85 Mustang. Ed Rice takes this one all the way to the bank, a 795, 190.03 miles per hour. In the far lane, Sparrow Pappas on a Glenwood, Louisiana, 69 Camaro. Daniel Millen in an 02 Mustang. Near identical reaction times, but Millen will take the win, a 704, 205.57 miles per hour. In the far lane, Brian Markowitz, Clearwater, Florida, 69 Camaro, up against Richard Bly's Celine Mustang. Markowitz will take the win, a 711, 196.54 miles per hour. And the number one qualifier, getting a solo pass here out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Jim Blair. In that fourth, a 5:29 reaction time. At the top end, 7:23, 194 miles per hour. Well, darkness fell on Bradenton's Motorsport Park. Here's a look at the rest of the winners. Vinny Budano makes it 3 in a row. There were some other guys that ended up with great performance, setting near classic and record-setting runs here at the Ross Pistons Hot Rod Muscle Car Nationals. For more information on the products you've seen in this program, please check out these websites. Next week on Inside Drag Racing, the Flowmaster ADRL race from Valdosta, Georgia. It is going to be a wild one. This has been a presentation of Master Entertainment Group in association with the Outdoor Channel.